Well, you know, here on Community, we like to celebrate Western New York for sure, but we also like to delve into the issues that are affecting the community.
One of those issues is reparations. In fact, Governor Hochul has established legislation for a committee to look at reparations and slavery in New York State.
What is hard to embrace is the fact that our state also flourished from that slavery. It's not a beautiful story, but indeed it is the truth. New York has long been the center of American commerce, Wall Street, banking, shipping, insurance, the economic engines of our entire country. And they thrived because they can trade in commodities that were produced by slaves. And there was a slave market. Yes, here in New York, there was a slave market where people bought and sold other human beings with callous disregard. And it happened right on Wall Street. Now, let's be clear about what reparations means. It doesn't mean fixing the past, undoing what happened. We can't do that. No one can. But it does mean more than giving people a simple apology 150 years later. This bill makes it possible to have a conversation, a reasoned debate about what we want the future to look like.
I want to give credit to this governor for having the audacity and courage to do what others wouldn't do.
And I don't want to pretend I didn't have some concerns about this. I know many have. But here's what I do know. Anyone thinks that racism and hatred toward blacks no longer exists? Tell that to the families of the 10 victims in the grocery store in Tops at the massacre in Buffalo.
It took a courageous young white woman from Western New York to say, I'm going to do what all the urban men before me wouldn't do.
Now, if this committee can present a viable path forward to helping the descendants of New York slaves and addressing the harms and disparities that exist in education, that exist in housing, that exist in health care, that exist in the environment, that, my friends, will lift all of us up. It'll strengthen our economy.
This is not just about who we're going to write a check to and what the amount is. It begins the conversation of one recognizing the issues that affected black people and descendants of slaves in this state.
And indeed, our own founding fathers came here for freedom and opportunities. But therein lies the difference. The slaves, people who were enslaved, didn't come here willingly to pursue a dream, but they came in bondage to live a nightmare. And we have to ask, do those of us whose family came here to pursue a dream not have a role to play in ending that nightmare?
This is a shining example of what takes place when community, government, civil society, when people work together to make things better. And I think this adds a bright beacon and future for New York State.